Hello everyone, myself Sabri and I welcome you to our channel Solution Bridge Network and one-stop solution for all your Power Platform tutorials. This is a Power Automate beginner level video, and here we'll understand what is Power Automate, how to access Power Automate, what are the key features of Power Automate and the benefits of using the Power Automate. At the end of this video, we will see a simple flow that gets triggered when a new item is added to our SharePoint list. So let's understand what is Power Automate. Power Automate is a Microsoft cloud service that lets user create automated workflows between apps and services. It helps automate repetitive tasks and save time and boosting efficiency. How to access Power Automate? You can access Power Automate by hitting the URL make.powerautomate.com. So any user with an Office 365 subscription can access Power Automate. Access level and capabilities may vary based on the specific Office 365 plans. So Power Automate offers a free plan as well as a premium plan. So with the help of free plan, we will be able to automate plenty of repetitive tasks that everyone goes through on our day-to-day life. Let's understand what are the key features of Power Automate. The main key feature that the Power Automate provides is its varieties of connectors. Power Automate offers connectors to link various apps and services such as Microsoft Office 365, SharePoint, Outlook, OneDrive, and many third-party applications. Even Power Automate has varieties of ready-made templates for common automation scenarios, making it easy for the beginners to start quickly. Once you are on the home page of the Power Automate, you have an option called Templates, by which you will be able to see the list of templates that the Power Automate offers. You can select the specific template that you're looking for and you can customize as you go. Power Automate also seamlessly integrates with Microsoft services and numerous external applications, making it as a highly versatile for different business needs. So all the automative tasks that we're gonna do with Power Automates are done via the creation of flows. Each flow that you're creating have two important components. So one is the trigger and other one is the action. So events that initiates the flow are called triggers and the actions are the tasks that are performed by the flows. We do have four varieties of flows. So automated cloud flow, instant cloud flow, scheduled cloud flow, and a desktop flow. If you want to have your flow triggered if a designated event occurs, like when an item is added to a SharePoint or when an email arrives with a specific subject line, then you can opt for automated cloud flow. Or if you want to trigger your flow from a button click in the Power Apps, or you want to trigger a flow whenever required using your mobile devices, you can use instant cloud flow. If you want to schedule your flow to run at a specific interval of time, or if you want your flow to run on a recurrent interval, then you should opt for scheduled cloud flow. If you want to automate processes on your desktop environment, then you can go with desktop flow. So the common use case that everyone uses in Power Automate would be automating their routine tasks like automatically save an email attachment to a cloud storage. Properly, you can send a document for approval and notify relevant parties upon the decisions. You can get notified when a specific event happens, like a new item is added to a SharePoint list or an email arrives with an important subject line. And finally, it also helps you to synchronize data across different systems and applications. By using Power Automate, you will be able to save time by automating repetitive tasks, freeing up time for more strategic activities. This ensures processes are followed accurately, reducing human errors. This also boosts productivity by streamlining workflows. This can be also accessible via mobile. You can manage your workflows anywhere via your mobile devices as well. Now, we will create a simple Power Automate flow that gets triggered when a new item is added to the SharePoint list. As we discussed earlier, if we want to trigger a flow with respect to a designated event, then we should go with automated cloud flow. So select it, and now it will ask you to give a name for it. Say new item added to the list. As we said earlier, there are two main components for a flow. One is trigger and another one is the action. Now it's time for us to select the trigger. Since we want to have this flow triggered if a specific item is created in the SharePoint, I'll say SharePoint, and this will list down all the triggers that the Power Automate has with respect to SharePoint. Since we need to have it triggered if and only if a new item is created, I'm gonna pick when an item is created. So select when an item is created and click on create. A new Power Automate designer window opens by which you will be able to start creating your flow. So there is an option you can just switch to the old designer if you would need. So I prefer to go with old designer. So let me turn off this and Power Automate will land in the old designer template. Since we have already added when an item is created in the SharePoint list as a trigger, now it prompts us to enter the site address and the list name, which it should monitor to get this Power Automate flow triggered. So click on the drop down and this will give you the list of SharePoint sites that you have access to. So I'll go with Power Apps, and once you select that, this will just create a dependency drop down and probably will list down all the lists that this site holds. So these are the lists that I have it in Power Apps. So probably I'll go with employee information list. So this flow gets triggered whenever a new item is created in the employee information section. So if you click on that next step, all the items that you create here are termed as actions. To recap, triggers are the event that initiates the flow, and the rest of the steps that it does to complete the flow are termed as actions. Whenever an item is created, we would like to send an email. So let's look for Outlook action, and you can just select the Outlook. Probably it will list down all the actions in the Outlook. So you can select send an email. You need to now specify the informations that you have it in the email. So click on to, and you have an option called add dynamic content. So if you click on add dynamic content, you will be able to see the output of the previous actions or triggers which you can key in as the input in the current connector. Here we are planning to send an email to the owner who created this item. So probably you can select created by email. In the subject line, you can mention that new employee added. Let's say, dear user, new employee added successfully. If you have noted, you can see there are some additional dynamic contents that are available since you are already on the body. So let's say name and pass in the name of the employee which gets added, and we'll just add the country. So you will say country and select the country. You might wonder where this employee name, email and country comes from. So if you go to my SharePoint list, and the employee information has three columns. One is employee name, email and country. These sections are created as the dynamic content with the help of trigger, and we can use this dynamic content in any of our actions available. So now let's save it. Let's get one step back. Now you're getting a command as your flow is ready to go. So this page helps you to identify your current status of the flow. So you can see the status is on, it is created on this date. This is an automated type flow. This will list down all the connectors that you've been used in the flow. And if you see here, you will be able to see a 28 days run history. So now let's go to my SharePoint list and try to add a new item. So I'll add the new item as, let's keep the title blank because we are not using that column in my SharePoint list. Let's input the name, email, and the country we can just call it as India, and let's save it. So this should trigger the flow, and there should be an email sent to my email address with this information. So let's go to the flow, click on refresh. If you are running your flow for the first time, it might take a lag of 30 to 40 seconds to get it initiated. So keep on refreshing until you see a trigger start. So you can see that there was a trigger start before 21 seconds and it succeeded. So if you just click this, it will just take you to the flow page, and you can see the actions which ran for the specific interval of time. And if there is any error, you will be able to see the error at the connector level or the individual section level. So probably what it does, it sends an email to my email ID with this information. So let me go to my email and let's check if we have that email in my inbox. I could see there is an email which says the subject line as new employee added, and I could see a new employee added successfully with the name, my name, and the country what I have keyed in. By this, we come to end of this video. If you have any questions or clarification, please post it in the comment section and we will be happy to help. Stay tuned for more videos on Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, hit the like button, and press the bell icon for our new video alerts.